everyone. Welcome back to True Crime Buzz. I'm your host, Brittany, and today with me is, of course, Amber.
Hello.
So what are you drinking today?
Got that red wine. It's not Rex Goliath. No.
Disappointment.
It's only because I drank all the Rex Goliath that my mom got me, but I just did my Walmart grocery order and it was available. So I will have it as of Saturday.
Okay, good. Because
yes,
it's just not the same. I am sticking with the usual and drinking Diet Coke. Well, Sam's Cola.
Diet Sam's Cola.
Yeah, Diet Sam's Cola.
Who needs to know? It's all Diet Coke.
Except for McDonald's Diet Coke, because that is superior to all other Diet Cokes.
Any soda from McDonald's, period, is superior. I don't know what they put in it. It's always so good and so sweet. I think they sweeten it extra or something.
I saw a TikTok and they talk about they put extra carbonation in it and they have a syrup through Coca-Cola that is McDonald's is the only people allowed to use it. Like they bought it.
That's it then.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, no, it's completely different.
I would prefer McDonald's Coke over literally any other drink in the whole world.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Oh, it's the best.
And it's only $1. McDonald's, take my money.
That's right.
So while I was researching Heaven's Gate, Lil Uzi Vert kept popping up. So this was a couple years ago, so it's not like brand spanking new news. But apparently he was in hot water from former members of Heaven's Gate because of something with an album he put out. So let me just read the article. This is from the San Diego Union Tribune. It says, before it even has a release date, rapper Lil Uzi Vert's eagerly awaited sophomore album is facing criticism from just about the last group on earth you'd expect, surviving members of Heaven's Gate. The Philadelphia-based recording artist, who has a tour stop in Chula Vista on Wednesday night, known for his unique look and music and deep passions for Marilyn Manson and Pop-Tarts. Good to know.
Okay.
Has also long been known to ponder what lies beyond Earth, likely leading him to turn to the infamous San Diego County cult Heaven's Gate for inspiration. The artist released what appeared to be album art that reflects the logo and website of the group, and its two remaining members let him know they did not like it. They said, quote, he is using and adapting our copyrights and trademarks without our permission, and the infringement will be taken up with our attorneys, the two surviving members said in a statement. Quote, this is not fair use or parody. It is a direct and clear infringement. So what album is this? Because I want to know, this was 2 years ago. I want to know, did he actually stick with it?
I hope so.
Eternal A Take 2020. Let me go. Oh, he stuck with it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
He stuck with it. It was released March 6, 2020 through Atlantic Records. On March 2nd and 3rd of 2020, he previewed 3 different cover arts via Twitter and asked his fans to pick the cover they preferred. That actually won. You know what? Good for him.
I just feel like he was like, give me that Heaven's Gate aesthetic, and that's what they came up with.
Yeah.
It doesn't look just like it.
You know what? If you're trying to get members in today's society and some popular rapper wants to use something that kind of resembles you, why not?
True.
I bet you he wears Nikes too.
I bet he does.
Anyways, so today will be the exciting and concluding part 2 of our first ever 2-part episode.
So excited.
And as you may remember, last we left off, poor Marshall just lost his co-leader, but more importantly, his BFF, Bonnie Nettles. She just died from cancer.
So sad.
So Marshall is devastated. This is his soulmate. This is his elder. This is everything. This is his life. So in October, later that same year, Marshall actually allows members of the group to travel home and visit their families for the first time because he was so heartbroken. He was like, you know what? Go home and be with your families, hug them tight, and then come back and we'll get back to work.
Wow.
So not only was he devastated because it was his best friend, it was his soulmate, but if you think about it on the cult level, this was not part of their plan or their prophecy.
Right.
Nobody was supposed to die. They were leaders. They were Jesus and God themselves. They were supposed to lead others to the UFO to heaven. So when someone dies, they're like, wait a minute. Why? What happened? So Marshall was forced to revise the cult's overall mission and teachings. He started telling the followers that Bonnie's vehicle, aka her body, had broken down because she was so ready to transform into her true alien self that it burned her earth body and she has ascended to the next level.
Oh my.
Yes. So their belief changed from a chemical or a physical change into a spiritual change into an alien form.
Okay, now they're all over the place. Like the crew, I was about to say they're followers, but the crew is already brainwashed at this point, so they're probably like,
so they just go with it.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
She was so ready to ascend that they said, go ahead and come on up, girl. Come on up to the main stage. Show us what you're working with. Now coming to the main stage, Bonnie Nettles in her new alien body.
That's right.
And so poor broken Marshall, his teachings started to change again, and now believed himself to be Jesus himself and called him the present representative of Christ on earth.
Oh.
He started believing that his vehicle was inhabited by the same alien spirit that belonged to Jesus. And likewise, Bonnie was presented as God the Father. So now he's telling people, we weren't the two in the Bible. Bonnie was God, I'm Jesus. She's going to heaven to prepare. I'm the next one, and then you're all coming with us.
Oh, gracious me.
He also claimed that she continued to speak to him daily and would forward these messages along. Because again, Marshall was not the real leader here. Bonnie was. Bonnie would tell him what to say, and he would say it.
Right.
So even after death, he would claim that he would have these spiritual messages from Bonnie from beyond and tell them to the followers.
Okay.
He then went as far as to give everyone wedding bands and had a marriage ceremony where everyone came up one by one and he would place the ring on their finger and they were marrying him.
What? Wait, what?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, it gets crazier. Back to that whole no sex rule. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
This became an issue with Marshall himself because he actually admitted that his vehicle became attracted to another vehicle in the group, a man named Dick Jocelyn, or Dakota, as his cult name was, who was an attractive and also gay man.
Okay.
Because of this, Marshall decided to look into castration.
What?
Yes, girl.
Fuck?
He said, my vehicle is attracted to your vehicle. So to prevent this from me having these impure thoughts, even not even acting on them, just having the thoughts, we should castrate ourselves. And they did it.
No. Are you kidding me?
Yep. He said that this way it would help ensure that they remained celibate and also find a way to have a platonic relationship where he could develop his full potential without all these sexual entanglements getting in the way.
Entanglements. Okay, Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, my gracious.
Oh, it gets even better. It gets even better.
It can't. This can't be any crazier. But it is. It's
so
gotta
they
be.
decide, let's castrate all the dudes in the group. Are they going to go to a real doctor? No. Why would they? They all agreed to have this procedure by another member of the group. That's the only person they trust. And she was a female nurse. Not a surgeon, a nurse.
Holy hell.
As expected, this did not go well. And one of the men's testicles started swelling up like a balloon. And he was crying out in excruciating pain. So they had to take him to the hospital.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. So at this point, they decide, okay, let's stop the castrations ourselves. We seem to not know really what we're doing. And then they found this underground guy to do them correctly. And they did them, including Marshall. So at least he did it with them. It wasn't like he told them they had to and then he didn't. He did it with them.
What?
And they castrated themselves.
Why?
It's insane to
That's
think about.
the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
So by the mid-90s, they started to believe that the end times were coming. And to be fair, most of the world started to think that because the year 2000 was approaching. Y2K.
Y2K,
the world's
baby.
gonna end. Let's all prepare. Let's all hunker down with our hand crank flashlights and our cans of beans in the shed, you know. So they, of course, thought the same thing.
Yeah, we lived through that, so.
It is 2021 and we're still going somewhat strong.
That's right. We're going. I don't know like how we're going, but we're going.
I don't know about strong. We're going somewhere.
We're all feeling pretty defeated after 2020.
So, because they thought the world was going to end, they started taking out ads in newspapers again and holding meetings again all across the country. But like in the very beginning, this was falling on deaf ears. Everyone knew them as the crazy UFO cult. They're not going to get new members at this point, but they thought for sure the Earth is going to die. We are all going to die. Come with us. Like, they wanted to save everyone. So, like,
they were trying to be like
cared.
Noah out of the Bible was what they were trying to do. Come on our our spaceship.
Our spaceship. Yes, yes. But people weren't buying it because they were like, nope, you're that crazy UFO cult. Like, they'd already made national news. Nobody was buying it. And then also in 1995, the internet came out and everyone was using the internet.
I can just hear the noise.
So they created a website to try to recruit followers and started identifying themselves using the business name Higher Source. Like they were going to fool anybody.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're not Heaven's Gate, we're Higher Source. But the website didn't work either. And it actually worked in the opposite of their favor because they started getting cyberbullied.
No.
They had this little message board where they were trying to reach out and people were like, nope. They started posting on there and calling them idiots, calling them crazy, saying it was all bullshit, like really breaking them down. And if you remember in the 90s, in late 1996 to early 1997, as part of its 4,000-year orbit around the sun, the famous Hale-Bopp comet passed near Earth and everyone was freaking out about it. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Yes.
Everyone was like outside with their telescopes and their binoculars just like, this is amazing. As a kid, I was like, okay, cool. But like looking back now, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it was neat.
Because it was actually the brightest comet seen by the naked eye since the 1500s, which I didn't know when I was a kid. I just thought it was some stupid comet going across the sky and everyone was freaking out. And this actually caused a nationwide conspiracy theory, not developed by Heaven's Gate, developed by just random people like you and me. They thought there was a spaceship tailing right behind the comet and that the government wasn't telling us about it. So not only were people out there with their telescopes trying to look at the comet, they were looking behind it to see if there was a spaceship.
Oh my gosh.
And who would buy into this conspiracy theory more than anyone else?
QAnon. Ding, ding, ding.
You hit the nail on the head with that. Dude, this was the QAnon of the 90s.
It was, though.
No, I was talking about Marshall, but yes, QAnon. Marshall Applewhite saw this as the ultimate sign. He said the spaceship was tailing right behind the comet. Not just any spaceship. It was Bonnie in the spaceship coming back to take everyone with her to the next level, aka heaven. Brittany is shaking her head so hard.
Oh, I am.
I know no one can see it, but she's just, her head is just hard into her palm. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't even verbalize how I feel right now. I'm that flabbergasted.
And it would be the closest to the Earth at the end of March of 1997, which also coincided with the weekend of Easter.
Oh.
Talking about Jesus rising from the dead. Marshall ate it up and was like, this is when we're going to...
the next level.
Basically, go to the next level. Bonnie's going to come down here and get us, and we're going to go with her.
Bless his heart.
Okay, think outside the box for just a moment. If you're in this group, and you've been in this group since the 70s, because there were people in there since the beginning, this man and this woman have been telling you that aliens are going to come for humankind and take them to the next level. And then 20 years later, all of a sudden, this comet is coming to Earth that never comes around. And he says the spaceship is behind it. And the weekend of Easter, of all holidays.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just thinking about, yes, 100%. When I said bless his heart, I mean, like, bless his heart because he's delusional, okay?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he really believes this, that, like, he's going to be reunited with his soulmate on the tail of this comet on his spaceship. And it's kind of sad.
It is. It's so sad. It's heartbreaking because you know he believes this so much.
And he wants it to be true so bad, you know?
But as a member who was there since the 70s and they're like, this dude's been talking all this smack this whole time. All I've done is this stupid diet of cayenne pepper and lemonade. I've got this terrible haircut. Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden this literal sign from the sky happens. I would be shitting my pants. Oh my God, he was right.
I'd be like, oh my God, yes, this haircut. I'm not going to have to do this anymore. That's what I would be like.
This was confirmation of what their leaders had been predicting since the 70s. They were like, yes, let's do it. So what exactly did this mean for the group? This means that they were going to leave their vehicles, aka their bodies, enter the alien spacecraft, and pass through Heaven's Gate into the next level, and they were going to refer to this as the exit. They had a name for everything. So dramatic. Almost like a musical theater guy came up with all this. Oh, wait. He did. Sadly, though, this was the sugar-coated version of what was actually going to be a mass suicide. But he never used that term. He never said the word suicide. He never said the word murder. He never said the word kill. He even referenced Waco and Jonestown and other cults and say, that's not what this is. This is different. Those people chose to kill themselves randomly. We're doing this to enter that spacecraft. Yep. But not everyone was down with this idea, and 5 people ended up leaving after that meeting.
If it looks like Jonestown, it smells like Jonestown, it's probably Jonestown.
It's probably Jonestown, yeah. So the ones that did stick around treated the last several weeks as a giant celebration. Because they know the end is coming. We know when it's coming. Let's celebrate the shit out of it until then. They started baking cakes and cookies, buying each other gifts. They even all went to SeaWorld together. Like, they were living their best lives on Earth.
Except for being castrated.
Oh, yeah, they were castrated.
None of that
and,
going on.
They couldn't have sex with each other.
No.
But everything else was fair game. And they started filming exit interviews on VHS tapes and mailing them to former members that they loved and trusted. And in these tapes, they would express their happiness and their understanding of what they were going to do. And basically, look, I'm going to be gone soon, but I love you and I trust you and I want you to continue spreading the good word after I'm gone. Isn't that so sad?
It
Like,
is.
what if I was in a cult and then I was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And I made a videotape of myself telling you, this is what I'm going to do. I love you. This is my choice.
I would be contacting not the FBI, because we know from last week's episode, the FBI makes a lot of mistakes. I would be contacting someone, or like
somebody somewhere,
getting some like rednecks and busting down this compound to get you out of there.
Well, see, they wouldn't mail these to just anybody. They weren't mailing them to their mom and dad. They weren't mailing them to their brother and sister. They were mailing them to ex-members that they trusted to not do that.
Ugh.
To trust that they were making an adult decision of their own. Which, I guess, if you look at it, they were, but there's a lot of influence there that they may not have had they not met someone with very severe mental health problems.
That's true.
So, the night before the suicides, it was their last night. So they decided to all go out for a final meal. They go to Marie Callender's restaurant in Carlsbad, California. First of all, I didn't know Marie Callender was an actual restaurant. I thought that was just frozen pot pies at Ingles.
Yeah, no, it was a real restaurant, but that's not where I would go.
No.
You know where we'd go.
We'd go to freaking Carrabba's and eat some chicken brine.
Ding, ding,
1000% I ain't going to Marie Callender's.
Mm-mm.
I'm glad we would go to the same place and order the same thing, though. Maybe we're like a 2-person cult called True Crime Buzz.
That's what I was about to say.
Welcome to the cult, y'all.
That's right.
We do not request that you have bad haircuts, though.
No.
But they go to this Marie Callender's restaurant, and they all order the exact same thing. They all have iced tea to drink. They all have pre-dinner salads with tomato vinegar dressing, and they all order turkey pot pies. And for dessert, because you gotta have dessert before
you exit,
you kill yourself.
That's right.
They all had cheesecake with blueberries on top.
Oh.
You need some chocolate.
I do love cheesecake, but the rest of that sounds, all of it, period.
It
Even
terrible.
the cheesecake, I'm not here for it. That's a horrible last meal.
So on March 26, 1997, San Diego police received an anonymous tip via phone call.
Hello?
Yes, I need to report an anonymous tip. Who do I talk to?
Okay. This is regarding what?
This is regarding a mass suicide, and I can give you the address.
This anonymous caller would later be revealed as an ex-member of the group named Rio D'Angelo, or his cult name Neody.
Oh my.
He was actually an ex-member that left a week before the suicides.
Oh, he's one of the 5 that left. Okay.
He calls because he received a packet from Marshall and the others of VHS tapes, of course, and they all were asking him to come see what they were going to do and then walk through the house and videotape what they see. Like, he wanted them to document and record everything and then turn it into police so that they could, properly do what needed to be done.
Oh my.
So, police enter the mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California, in an exclusive suburb of San Diego, California, and discovered all 39 bodies, apparent victims of a mass suicide. They initially reported this as a 39 men suicide.
Yeah, because of the haircuts.
Because of the haircuts and the button-up shirts.
Mm.
But it was later confirmed it was 21 women and 18 men, and of those 18 men was Marshall. They were all found lying peacefully on their backs with their arms at their sides, wearing matching black pants and shirts, with a patch on their sleeves on the arm that said Heaven's Gate Away Team.
Oh my.
The nerd level of that arm patch. I kind of like it.
All right. Okay. You've asked for it. I'm not going to make you a shirt that says that.
Fuck yes. I didn't want that till just now. And they were covered in purple sheets and wearing the notorious black and white Nike sneakers. Nike soon discontinued the shoe style because the association to the mass suicide.
Right.
And since then, the shoes have actually become a collector's item. I don't know how they found this information out. I don't know if it was from an ex-member or whatever, but when asked, like, why this shoe? Why the Nikes?
Yeah.
It was actually purchased in bulk, and they picked it out because of the cost, not necessarily the style. They just said, you know what, we can get a good deal on these, and that's why they picked those.
Okay. I can appreciate the thriftiness.
They were also found with $5.75 in cash in their pockets. But apparently this was a reference to a Mark Twain story, Huck Finn, which we both know.
Yes.
Somewhere in Huck Finn, it says that the cost to ride the tail of a comet to heaven is $5.75.
Okay.
They were cutesy like that.
That's
They
kinda
loved a
cute.
good pun. They were kind of a cute cult.
Yeah, that's pretty cute. I'll give them that.
I love a good dad joke, and I feel like that was a good dad joke.
It is.
So though the 39 dead members of the cult were found that Wednesday, the coroner report actually shows that the suicides didn't all take place on the same day at the same time.
What?
I know! I didn't know this either. So the members killed themselves in 3 small groups over several days, starting that Sunday. And they used a mixture of phenobarbital mixed with pudding that they would eat. And then they would drink a big thing of vodka,
Ooh, just
which
like
I'm drinking
your drink.
tonight.
Appropriate.
Yeah. Then each of the members would put plastic bags over their heads and suffocate to death. And then the remaining members who were still alive of the other groups would cover them with the purple sheets.
Okay.
The last group was obviously found not covered because there's no one left to cover them, but they were found with the bags over their heads. So it was almost like they were trying to, from the inside out, kill themselves, but they were also suffocating themselves. It was almost like for extra measure to make sure they didn't fuck this up.
Okay, but my thing is, so if there's 3 separate groups, and like the first one, they're gone, but there's no spaceship, why did the second and third group be like, yeah, boy?
Because Marshall had told them that it was no longer a physical transformation, it was a spiritual transformation. They were leaving their vehicles on Earth. You weren't going to see the transformation. It was spiritual.
Okay.
Kind of like when you die and your soul goes to heaven.
Okay, yeah, nope, that makes sense.
But they were very almost OCD about it, so that they did it in the groups, so that way the first group, when they died, the other group would help clean up, make sure they were covered, make sure they were very presentable, and then the second group would go, and then so on.
Okay.
It was very ritualistic kind
Yes.
of, which I can also appreciate. I appreciate this cult way too much.
You
I
do.
feel like I need to go talk to my mom or something.
I'm gonna phone Sam and we're gonna have an intervention. Sam and Barbara, we're getting together.
You're gonna call Barbara and be like, Amber's slipping.
Yep, I'm gonna get your dad. I'm gonna get Kyle. I mean, we're gonna have an intervention for you. So be looking forward to that. I'll stop and get some Carrabba's.
If there's chicken brine there, you can do all the interventioning you want.
Okay, good to know.
Aside from the bodies, police also found a document called The Routine. And this was a document that outlined the entire suicide process and confirmed the police's theory. It said, quote, a group of 15 people will kill themselves, assisted by 8 other people. Then the second group of 15 will die, assisted by 8 other people. Given that 39 victims were found, that would have left a final group of 9. So it all checked out. They had this down to a fucking science of how they wanted to go. No mistakes.
None.
And a not so fun fact, Marshall was not the last to die. He was part of the second group.
That's even more bizarre because I feel like at that point, the third group could have been like...
Usually the leaders are the last to go.
Yeah, like, because they want to make sure it happened.
Or they skip town or, yeah. What's extremely sad, and I don't know how I didn't see this coming, but it happened. After all of the suicides, several ex-members felt regret that they were not part of this and felt the need to join their former cult members and commit suicide on their own after the fact.
What?
3 of them that we know of were Jimmy Simpson, who went by Djibouti, wrote a goodbye note to his family and shot himself. A couple of guys named Wayne Cook, who went by Gistodi, and Chuck Humphrey, who went by Rakoti. They recorded exit interviews on tape and everything, and then attempted suicide in a hotel room. However, one of them died and one of them actually made it, was taken to a hospital and brought back to life.
Oh.
What's even more sad is that when he realized he didn't make it, once he was released from the hospital, he tried again and succeeded.
Oh.
He didn't give up.
That's
Isn't
awful.
that so heartbreaking?
Yes.
These people felt such regret for leaving their family, you know,
Yeah.
that they've known, even though they felt this cult is not for me. I love these people, and they all did it. They felt like, oh my God, why did I not do that? And so they went on and killed themselves anyway to be with their family.
That is awful.
Oh, it breaks your heart.
But I guess that goes to show that, like, even if you do successfully leave a cult, you know, there's lifelong damages from being in a cult, which if you listen
Absolutely.
to former cult survivors, that's what they say. But, like, this just drives that home.
Oh, yeah. A former member who did not decide that that was for her, named Leanne Wolfe, she actually held a reunion for all ex-surviving members in 1998 in Montana. And this reunion actually included Bonnie's daughter, Terry. You know, Bonnie, the old leader that died from cancer. And she brought, I'm talking a stack of letters to this reunion that were letters that her mom wrote her during her time in the cult, which you think, oh, that's so sweet. But this was a huge shock because a big part of the cult was you are cut off from your friends and family.
Yeah, and she wasn't doing that.
No. Meanwhile, the leader is writing to her daughter once a week, at least.
Hypocrite.
So they were flabbergasted. And I don't know if there's copies of these letters online, but I watched a documentary or a docuseries where the daughter talks about what some of the letters said while she was in the cult. And she said that she interpreted them as being very sad, almost like she wanted to leave the cult, but she was so deep into it. Like she was too far gone. Like, I can't leave now. People are depending on me.
That's sad.
While 39 souls died on that very sad day, the cult did not die and is actually still technically active. You can find the website right now. Pull out your phone, go to www.heavensgate.com, and in all its 90s glory, the website is still there. It has not changed.
But wait, are there like active members?
Okay, so that's the question, because I was talking to Sam about this earlier, about the cult and how the mass suicide. I'm like, I showed him. I was like, here's the website. And he's like, someone has to keep a website going. Websites aren't free. You have to, you know, keep it going. So who the heck is running it? There are a few theories, but the biggest one is that the pair most likely behind this higher source website are Mark and Sarah King. There's supposedly a Reddit feed where they responded and said, quote, "The information must be available to mankind in preparation for their return. We don't know when that will be, but those who are still interested will find the information," end quote.
Oh my gracious.
So there are people keeping that alive in the honor of Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. And to this day, Heaven's Gate remains the largest mass suicide on U.S. soil. Because, you know, Jonestown was the biggest.
Yeah, but that wasn't here.
In, what, South America?
Right. Okay, but every time, this entire time that you've said Applewhite, all I can think is like apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur. Every time.
Of all the things you think of.
Yeah, because I'm a child.
You're a child.
Yes.
You know what I thought of? Like Apple Macintosh computers back in the day.
Oh, you're showing your age so bad right now.
You know what? Stop what you're doing. Pull up that website right now. I want to see your reaction.
Okay, hold on.
I want to see what you think of this 90s aesthetic. That was the biggest eye roll ever.
Oh boy. I'm about to go down this rabbit hole.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to be there for the rest of the night, friend.
So yes, if you want more information about Heaven's Gate, all of their documents and their teachings are on heavensgate.com. There's also a really good docuseries on HBO Max called Heaven's Gate, The Cult of Cults, which I thought, what a cute title, but that's actually what Marshall Applewhite says. When he's asked, is this a cult? He goes, yeah, it's the cult of cults. He called it a cult, straight up. But that docuseries is amazing. It's 4 parts. It's only 4 hours.
Oh, good.
So you can watch it in an afternoon. They believe this to their core. You can see that. When they're talking about it, they're so happy. There's so much love there that if they wouldn't have done the mass suicide, like, I would be so happy for them that they have something that they feel like they're living for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aside from the alien stuff. Believe what you want to believe. But, like, they were happy people.
Yeah, they weren't out hurting people, other people.
Right. It's just, oh. But yes, please watch it.
I will.
Love our podcast? Then hit that subscribe button and leave us a review.
We're also on Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/truecrimebuzz and join today for access to all our exclusive content, including bonus episodes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TC Buzz Podcast.
And check out our website at www.truecrimebuzz.com.
Until next time, cheers!